Mr. Ang Wei Neng.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I stand in support of the Parliament, I stand in support of the Retirement and Re-employment Amendment Bill. In 2010, 9% of the Singapore population was aged 65 years and above. Singapore was then considered as an aging society. In 2020, 15.2% of our population is above 65 years old. Singapore has transited from an aging society in 2010 to become an aged society in 2020, just within a span of 10 years. By 2030, it's projected that more than 20% of our population will be 65 years old and above. That is, we will become a super aged society like Japan. Many economists consider this as a silver tsunami. But how do we turn the silver tsunami into a silver lining? Well, we need more of a whole-of-government approach to tackle the issue of super-aged society. Meanwhile, I would like to make some suggestions over three broad areas. First, to allow more senior Singaporeans to work as long as possible where health permits and Singaporeans willing. Have flexible housing arrangement to allow as many elderly as possible to age at home. 3, and create a national volunteer registry to encourage as many seniors as possible to volunteer when they can. I would suggest to name this program as the Orange Compass, and I will elaborate the program later. Many of us agree that with better nutrition, better medical achievements, advancements, and better living conditions in Singapore, Singaporeans live longer. Today, 65 years old is like 55 years old decades ago. Hence, I totally agree with the amendment in the Retirement and Re-employment Act to increase the retirement and re-employment age progressively from next year. Currently, almost 60% of the Singapore's workforce is in PMET jobs. When they turn 55 years old, their productivity is less likely to decline as compared to the blue-collar workers. Even for the blue-collar workers, many are still fit and healthy at 55 years old. Their productivity is unlikely to deteriorate significantly when they turn 55 years old. Hence, it's arbitrary to start reducing the employer's CPF contribution rate at 55 years old. I propose the MOM and the tripartite work group on older workers consider at the right time and hopefully earlier to reduce the employer's CPF contribution rate only at 60 years old and not 55 years old. If that's a reality, then the employer's CPF contribution rate for those below 60 years old will remain at 70% before reducing to 14% for those between 60 to 64 years old and 10% for those between 65 to 69 years old and 8% for those above 70 years old. To mitigate the financial impact on the employers, we certainly hope that MOM will strengthen the senior worker support package to ease the transition. Next, I support the NTUC efforts to urge employers to redesign work scope, use automation to reduce manual works so that more seniors can continue to work till 70 years old or beyond. Before I continue, I would like to declare my interest as the CEO of a Comfort Delgro Taxi. As part of efforts to create more jobs for those above 70 years old, I would like the government to consider increasing the retirement age of taxi drivers to 78 years old progressively, up from the current 75. The retirement age of taxi drivers was last changed and revised in 2012. With more intelligent safety features like autonomous emergency brakes, lane departure alert becoming a norm for taxi, it will be safer for older taxi drivers to drive, provided they pass the stringent annual medical screening. Thus, the time is right to review the retirement age of taxi driver. During my weekly house visit in the past decade, I find that more and more elderly are staying alone. This is not the most desirable situation. With the successful launch of community care apartments in Bukit Batu, I hope HDB can accelerate the launch of community care apartments in more HDB estates, especially the older towns. To encourage more seniors to take up senior housing bonus scheme, I would like to urge HDB to waive the resale levy, and this will encourage seniors to monetize their flat for better retirement adequacy. While waiting for the HDB to build more community care apartments, I would like to suggest MOH and MSF further fund the Senior Activity Centre or SAC at the HDB studio apartments to provide similar services that are planned for the community care apartments. For example, the SAC can provide care and support services as well as simple home fix services to the existing HDB studio apartments. As we become the super age society, it is not tenable to employ more and more foreign workers to take care of the less mobile seniors. The average life expectancy of Singaporeans is 84 years old, but many are expected to be in the poor health in the last 10 years of their life. Henceforth, it is important to encourage seniors near retirement age or just for those who just retired to remain active and volunteer to help other seniors who are less mobile or in a poorer health situation. In view of both, I would like to recommend the government to start a national volunteer registry, which I will name it as Orange Compass. The Orange Compass could have the following benefits. A, it could encourage more able seniors to volunteer to earn points, and the points earned would be able to be kept in the central registry, preferably using blockchain technology. If we can find sufficient sponsors, the points accumulated can be converted to food vouchers, taxi vouchers, etc. to mitigate the cost of living for the seniors that volunteers. And the points earned can also be kept for the future to exchange for services when the seniors become less able. For example, seniors can volunteer when they are in the 60s and 70s, that is when they are more able. When the seniors are in 80, they can use the points accumulated in the registry to exchange for services provided by future volunteers, to bring them to hospitals for medical checkup, for example. The Orange Compass can provide the direction for more able seniors to volunteer. When the seniors are assured that their volunteers' effort will be recognized, more will volunteer. When the seniors know that their volunteer efforts can be stored securely in the registry and redeemed for services in the future, they are more likely to volunteer as well. Let me continue in Mandarin. 副议长先生，根据联合国的定义，65岁算为老人。在2010年，65岁以上的国人占了人口的9%。去年，即2020年，15.2%的国人超过65岁。到了2030年，预计20%以上的国人会超过65岁。换句话说，我国的人口正在迅速老化，而经济学家经常形容社会老化是银色海啸，是银色危机。果真是如此吗？我相信，只要好好策划，全国上下一心，我们是有机会把银色危机转为银花火树，落实家有一老，如有一宝的愿景。而提高退休年龄和重新雇用年龄就是第一步，所以我赞同退休和重新雇用修正法案。然而，立法是一回事，更重要的是，国人要如何对待年纪大的员工。资深的许通美教授就呼吁国人不要歧视年老的员工。所以，全国职工总会与全国户主联合会一直在联手深化机械化、自动化，好让蓝领工人在65岁之后仍然能够胜任他们的工作。近几年来，自动驾驶汽车技术突飞猛进，许多德士都装有自动紧急刹车的功能和自动防止车道偏离的功能等等。所以我呼吁政府进一步的调高德士师傅退休的年龄到78岁。当然，年长的德士师傅的每年通过严谨的身体检查，因为安全第一。这样，更多年长的国人就可以选择在法定年龄退休之后呢，继续工作。Mr. Deputy Speaker, Singaporeans are better educated over the years, and more are using their brain power rather than their physical strength to contribute to the economy. At the same time, Singaporeans are living longer with medical advancements and accessibility to medical care. Thus, we need to create an environment for Singaporeans to work as long as possible, and they're willing to meet the requirements of the growing economy, rather than tapping more on the foreign manpower. Increasing the retirement and re-employment age progressively is definitely the right step in the right direction. Concurrently, we also need to tap on the silver generation for volunteerism as they prepare for retirement. If coordinated well, the Orange Compass can also help to mobilize the untapped resources to turn the silver tsunami into silver lining. Thank you.